Hi everyone, my name is Rajesh and in this video we are going to have a look at one of the crucial questions that I often get asked from the trainees whenever we are in the initial phase of Oracle ERP consulting training. And the question is why Oracle chooses the partners for the implementation or the support of the Oracle Cloud ERP product if they could do it themselves. Now, before we get into this particular question, it is very essential to know the context or the pretext of this particular question. So, I had already made a video which talks about who are different parties when it comes to an implementation or a support of any ERP project. So, I'm appending the link of that video over here. So, if you have not watched that video, first go and watch that video and then proceed with this particular video. So, just to give you a recap, there are three parties that are involved in any implementation or support project. Number one, the client. Number two, the ERP vendor. And number three, the implementation partner or the system integrator, as it is called in a technical language. Now, the first one, the client gets into an agreement with the ERP vendor first of all when they finalize the ERP that okay, I want to go with SAP or I want to go with Oracle Cloud or I want to go with, let's say, Microsoft Dynamics 365, whatever ERP they decide. After that, this client also gets into a separate agreement with the ERP implementer company, which could be any IT company, which could be any big four firms or any other specialized companies who are partners to these ERP vendors. Now, as I had mentioned in my last video, I am an Oracle consultant. So whenever I conduct these Oracle Cloud ERP fresher trainings, I often get this question in the context of Oracle. So Oracle Corporation is a US company who had got this Oracle Cloud ERP product. So they have developed this particular product. Now the question comes like, why do they choose these different big four firms or the IT companies in order to implement this ERP? Why don't they do it themselves? Now this is a very interesting question. For this, we first need to understand the difference between a product company and a service company. Oracle Corporation US, who has basically developed this Oracle Cloud ERP application or enterprise application as it is called, they are a product company. So what they have done is they have built this product and now they simply do two things. One, they enhance this product or they keep on enhancing this product. They remove the bugs in the product. They keep on adding the new functionalities in the product. That's one thing that they do as a company. Second thing, they sell the licenses of this product that is already built. Now, obviously, for the first thing, which is enhancing the product or which is maintaining the product to its current level, the efforts are not going to be as much as how it would have required for developing this product initially. It would be around 20% of the efforts that it took to develop that product. So maintenance, upgrade, enhancements is one part which just consumes, let's say, 10 to 20% of the efforts as compared to the original development efforts that took for developing this product from scratch. So predominantly what Oracle earns revenue from is selling the licenses of this product, which is already there, which is already built. And that is where this becomes a product company. And product companies are highly scalable. So if somebody tells you that you have got a product and what you all need to do to earn the revenue is just to sell the licenses, that's it. And then you earn the revenue. You don't need to do anything additional. Now, obviously, that's not true practically. These enhancements and supports and upgrades and all of those things, they need to be done. But just for the assumption, let's say that if that is the case, that you have developed a product and you just want to sell the licenses now on, imagine how much scalable it can be. On the other hand, now let's come to the service companies. So all of these big four firms or the IT service companies who act as implementers or who act as system integrators, essentially what they are doing is they are providing the services. They are providing the implementation services to the clients, which is the first party in our agreement, what we have seen. Now, service business is never as much scalable as the product business. And it is simply because of the reason that the proportion of the costs incurred to deliver those services and the revenue earned from those services is always in a linear manner. So let's say that if a particular company is executing 1000 implementation projects and for which they have around 10,000 consultants as their workforce or as their employees. Now tomorrow, if let's say they want to implement 1500 projects instead of 1000 projects, then they will need maybe 5000 extra employees for that. This relation will always be linear. And that's where it is often challenging to scale up the service business. And now product companies like Oracle or any ERP company, any ERP vendor, they know this thing very well, right? So if they restrict the implementation of the product to themselves, then what they will essentially do is they will also reduce their license sale, right? Because if they can sell the licenses pretty fast, but if their service division cannot implement those ERPs as fast as its product division is selling the licenses, it will eventually halt the growth of that company as a whole. And that's the reason why these ERP vendors have all of these implementation partners in place. So they say that, hey, we have this product, we have developed this from scratch, and we are selling the licenses to the customers for this particular product. Now you go and implement this particular product at the client's place. And this can be highly scalable because the ERP vendor company is now not just dependent upon one company. It can be partnering with, let's say, hundreds of different IT service companies across the world to implement the ERP that they have built. That's the reason why the companies like Oracle, SAP, or Microsoft partner with n number of different companies so that they can implement the product which these guys have built. Now, that does not mean these companies do not have their own services division. For example, Oracle has got a separate organization called Oracle Consultancy Services, which does the same thing as any other implementation partner does. Now, obviously, for being the same group company as Oracle Corporation US, they would definitely be getting some sort of advantages when it comes to getting the implementation projects. However, it will not always work that way. It is simply because who gets the implementation business or who gets the support services contract is something that is more dependent upon the personal relationships between the salespeople of Oracle Corporation US, which is a product company, the client, and the salespeople of the different IT services companies or system integrator companies. Now, let's assume that there is a salesperson in the Oracle Corporation and then there is a salesperson of, let's say, a TCS. Now, these two people have a very good relation. Then, obviously, this salesperson of the Oracle is going to recommend this TCS as the preferred partner for implementation to a client rather than recommending its own Oracle consultancy services company. Now, that is quite natural, and that is how the business is done. And that's where there is a logic that why all of these partner companies exist. Why do they get the same preference as the own service divisions of these product companies? And why this entire partner ecosystem works the way it works? I hope that answers this crucial question for you. Thank you everyone for watching this video. With the advent of cloud, the ERP solutions are becoming more and more affordable. And that's where even the small and mid-scale organizations are increasingly opting for ERP softwares. What it means for us is ERP consulting as a career option is now more lucrative than ever. So if you are a fresher finance, commerce, and management graduate and want to build your career in the ERP consulting industry, then go visit www.yourerpcoach.com and hit that inquire button right now.